Hello student, my name is Nimish Prabhakar. I am Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in Instrumentation and Control Department. Welcome to Process, Dynamic and Control lecture series. In my previous lecture, I discussed about the dynamic behavior of first order system and dynamic behavior of the second order system. Now, in this lecture, we discuss about the multi-capacity process and then we discuss about the dynamic system with dead time. So, in this lecture, we discuss about the two topics. First, we discuss about the multi-capacity process and then we discuss about the dynamic systems with dead time. So, now we start with the multi-capacity process. So, first of all, question occur in mind, how we can get multi-capacity process. So, by series connection, we can get multi-capacity process. That means, in my previous lecture, we discussed about the interacting and non-interacting system. So, by connection of two first order system, we can get the second order system. So, now here we want multi capacity system. That means here we connect n number of first order system in series. So, we can get multi capacity process. That means we connect the n number of system in the series. So, it is also known as the n capacity in series. It is also known as the higher order system. So, it can be classified in a two part. First one, n non-interacting capacity and second one, n interacting capacity. We know what is the interacting system and what is non-interacting system. So, we can classify n capacity in series in two ways. First one is the n non-interacting capacity and second one is the n interacting capacity. So, now here we start with the n non-interacting capacity. So, here in the figure we see the n system is connected in the series. That means here the G1S represent the transfer function of the first system. Here we consider the all system is the first order system. That means this is a first order system, this is also first order system. That means here we connected n number of first order system in series. And F1S is represent the input of the first system and Y1S is represent the output of the first system. Same as for the second system, Y1S is become as the input and Y2S is become as the output. So, as we connect the n number of blocks in this n number of first order system in the series, so at the output the n is the, we know the Yn is the output of the n number of system. So, overall transfer function we can write, we know the transfer function is the ratio of the output upon input. So, here the final output is the Yn and the input is the F1S. So, we can write the overall transfer function of the n non-interacting system as Yn upon F1S is equals to G1S into G2S, G3S up to Gns, because this is a series connection and we know in the control theory this is a series block is goes into the multiplication. So, we can write the transfer function as Yns upon F1S is equals to G1S, G2S up to Gns. So, G1S is represent the transfer function of the first order system, G2S is represent the transfer function of the first order system. So we can write this equation as K1 tau1s plus 1. For G2s we can write K2. For G3 we can write the K3, and for Gn we can write the Kn. So by simplifying this equation we get the y1s upon f1s is nothing but K1 K2 up to Kn upon, this is the denominator term, tau1s plus tau2s plus 1 up to the tau ns plus 1. So this is the overall transfer function of non-interacting system. So now for the interacting capacity, the overall transfer function is become more complex. We know the connection of the non-interacting system is very complex. So, and equation of the overall transfer function of the interacting system is also complex. So now here we compare the behavior of non-interacting, interacting and other interacting system. So to compare, we have taken the example of the liquid tank system. So here we consider this behavior is the simple behavior of the first order system, simple first order system. Here this is the two non-interacting tank behavior. Here the two interacting system behavior, this is represent, and this represent for non-interacting tank behavior. So here at the x-axis represent the time, and at the y-axis is represent the ratio of H to T upon the Kp2. Here the H2 is the represent the height of liquid in the tank. So if we consider the two tanks, so at that time this represent the height of liquid in the tank 2, and Kp2 is the represent the constant of the process 2. Same as if we consider as for the single tank, so at that time here the H1T we write. So at that time it represent the height of the liquid in the first tank. So if the for the fourth tank we write here the H4. So at that time it represent the height of liquid in the fourth tank. So according to response it will be changed. So now here we from this graph we can conclude. So here we get first we write the conclusion for the n non-interacting system. So we can see here the response has the characterized of the over-damped system. That is it is the S-shape and sluggish. So here we can write the this is the two non-interacting and four non-interacting system. So we can see here the response is the S-shaped response, and it is sluggish as compared with the first order simple single tank system. So as we increase the number of order, the response sluggishness is increased. So here if we increase the number of capacity in series, increase the sluggishness of the response. That means here we compared two non-interacting system and four non-interacting system. So as we increase the order of the system, so here the sluggishness is also increased. See here, this is the, and this is the for 4 system. Now here we conclude about the n interacting system. So interacting increase the sluggishness of the overall response. So now here we compare two non-interacting system response with the two interacting system response. So by figure we can see here more as we here we compare to the interacting and non-interacting system. So here the sluggishness is more as compared to the non-interacting system. So interacting system is increase the sluggishness of the overall response. So this is the conclusion for the dynamic behavior of the multi-capacity process. Now we see the dynamic system with dead time. In earlier we discussed about the dead time. We know what is dead time. So here we consider the system with dead time. So whenever a change took place in the input variable, its effect was not instantaneously observed in the behavior of the output variable. Virtually all physical will involve some time delay between the input and output. Now to understand this sentence, we take one example. Consider this is a one pipe, and here the Fi is represent the input side and F0 is represent the output side. So here if we change, here we give the step input as a input in this system. That means here we give the step input in the input. So this is the behavior of the input system, and accordingly that we see this is the output system behavior. So here we can see this represent the delay zone. So here at the time t is equals to 0, we give some input here, but at the effect of this input it create delay, and this input effect is go to the output with some delay tau d. This represent. So that means if we give input signal here, it takes some time to reach here. So this time zone is represent the dead time, and this is this response, and that means this response behavior is due to the constant behavior. So now we can see here. So this is the dead time representation. So every system has dead time. In a process dynamic, and that means in the industry, it is not possible if we give input and that time we instantaneously see that input effect on the output. It takes some time to reach the output. So this is known as the dead time. So now we see the effect of this dead time in the process. That means we see the dynamic system with dead time. So here we consider the first order system with dead time. That means this is a first order system, and here we add this block. This block is represent the dead time block. Ft is the input of the first order system. Y of t is the output of the first order system. But due to the dead time, we get some delay. So this represent at the ultimate output we get some delay. So we can write the Yt minus tau d. So this represent the Td is represent the Td is represent the delay. So we can represent this is the transfer function of the first order system, Kp tau ps plus 1, and this is the transfer function of the delay system. So e raised to minus tds is represent the transfer function of the dead time system or the delay system. So we can write the overall transfer function of this system. So overall transfer function is nothing but the ratio of the output upon input. So this is nothing but this is the Yt minus Td upon Ft. So we can write the overall transfer function L. So this is the transfer function of the first order process. So we we know the y of s upon f of s is equals to kp tau ps plus 1. So this represents the transfer function of the first block. And here we can see for this block, this is the input and this is the output. So for this block, we can write the transfer function as L y of t minus td upon L y of t. This is the output upon input. So this is output upon input is nothing but the e raised to td s. So to get the overall transfer function, we can get the overall transfer function by multiplication of these two transfer functions. So at that time this yt and this yt is cut. So we get the L y of t minus td upon L f of t. So overall transfer function we can write as kp e raised to td s tau ps plus 1. So this equation is called or known as first order plus date time system. So this is first order system and this is date time. So that's why this equation or this system is known as first order plus date time system. Now same as for the second order system, we can write this equation as the kp e raised to td s tau square s square 2 zeta tau s plus 1. So this equation is known as second order plus date time system equation. So this is the equation for the second order system. Now we compare response with date time and without date time. So this response is represented without date time and this response is represented with date time. This is the response of first order system and this line is represent the first order response without date time and this line represent the first order response with date time and this region is known as the date time. Same as for the second order system, here this is the underdamped system response. So this line is represent the second order underdamped response and this line dashed line is represent the underdamped second order system with delay. Same as this is the overdamped response with without delay and this is the overdamped response with delay. So this region is represent the date time region. So this is the dynamic system with date time.